Hello. I'm gonna make myself a drink while I wait for y'all to show up. Let's see. I got some clean, a piece of clean counter right there. So what I have right here is flowers from the mimosa tree, and this is called the happiness tree. And this flower is supposed to help with depression. There's a drink I like to make with it. What'd I do with I had my mic on a minute ago. Where'd I put it? But I don't know if it's connected. Okay, let me see. It's flashing. But it's not connecting. I don't know. You guys, or somebody tell me if the mic comes on. Shouldn't it be like a steady light if it's connected? You can hear me fine, but can you hear the mic? The light's flashing, but I don't know if it's connecting or not. I don't know how to tell. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going very far. I have here flowers from the mimosa tree, which is the happiness plant. Okay, that's all right. We don't need it today. Just got home from court. I did a lot this morning. My hearing was at 11:30, but I was there at like 9 o'clock. I'm getting ready to make me a drink to chill. And I wanted to show you what I make because this is a happy drink. So I really like this glass. There's it's etched. I don't know if you can see. But it says, "Hi, I'm going to report in a minute, but right now I'm making me a drink." Anyway, it says, "Think ahead, salt your dead." And it's a podcast called Wine and Crime. And they used to be really, really funny. Anyway, they did an episode about, you remember, that big, you guys, I've been stressed today, so I got a right to not find my words. Anyway, you know that wagon train got snowed in and they ate each other? Anyways. So what I do is, yesterday when I did is really cool, but first I have to check the flour and make sure there's no bugs. Can you see it? Mimosa flower. Yeah, the honor party. Yeah, exactly. You guys got it. All right, can you see? I'm just going to put that in there. And then I'm having gin, and my gin of choice is Tanqueray. My grandmother drank gin, so my mother drank gin, so that's where I learned to drink gin. Yesterday when I put the flour in, it didn't have the base together, and the flour made a circle with all the pink in the middle. It was pretty cool. Now, I don't know why this candle keeps falling down. This candle's always falling down. I guess it doesn't go there. So, you guys, is there signal? Can you see okay? Or am I just talking? So there's the gin. And then Ginger ale. Just gin and ginger ale and the happy flower. Yay. And the flower's edible too, so it's no big deal if I get some while I'm drinking. Oh, there's some information you guys don't know yet, huh? You didn't know I got arrested. I got a coffee. I got a coffee too. Let me go. I'm gonna go find a spot to sit down and chill now. Did you guys did you see the thumbnail picture? So cute. Oh my gosh, Annika was, don't look at my messy house. Annika was so excited when I got home. She was hugging my waist and going crazy. I guess I was gone a long time this time. All right. How about that? Can you see me? I'll get the other phone so I can look at the messages. How's everybody else today? Everybody else having a chill day? I'm not having a chill day. So this is not my cord outfit. This is what I had under my cord outfit. Let me lower you a little bit. I think you're too high. Are you high? The other day I walked into the courthouse and I said, "Hi." And the deputy said, "Yeah." And I said, "You're high?" So let me tell you what all I did today. How's that view? Is that an okay view? Am I live? Am I live? What's going on here? I can't find me.
Good morning, everyone. My name is...
Here we go. This should get it. I'm not even showing up as being live, y'all. Am I still on? Am I live? Am I live? I can't find it. Knew that much from your post. Yeah. Pinch yourself and see. You know, you can do lucid dreaming, and that's what they say to do. Why am I not showing up on my other phone as being live? I want to watch myself. I never want to watch myself. Oh, somebody else is live, leaving court. Warrant update, and it's wild. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, we'll do this different then. I can't pull myself up live. So the report is, so today was my hearing on the preliminary protective order. So there's 3 different kinds of protective orders in Virginia. The ex parte protective order, which only lasts 72 hours, and that's the emergency protective order. Then there's the preliminary protective order, and then there's the permanent protective order. So I had a preliminary protective order. And if you remember, what these people said I said. Okay, we're gonna do this different, guys, because I can't find myself live. So I'm gonna turn you around and lower you some more. I had on a really cute outfit today. My court outfit was pretty cute, but when I got home, I was ready to. What's the temperature where y'all are? We're in the hundreds now. I think it's only supposed to be 90 something. How's that? Can y'all see? Can I see you? Can you see me? Look, she scratched me when I got home, and she was all excited. Okay. I don't think my mic is connecting. I'm gonna have to play with that. Where'd my box go? Some really interesting things happened today that I think are going to cause some other issues. I'm gonna go in the office and get the Black's Law Dictionary. Come on. Go. Go, go, go. Okay, so last week, I think it was Thursday, if you remember, I went into the sheriff's department to file a FOIA request. Well, they were acting really weird. The ladies were acting kind of weird, and they said, "Do you have ID?" I said, "Well, my ID's in the car. Do I need ID to file a FOIA request?" She says, "No, but I'm trying to figure out who you are because I think I might have some paperwork for you." So I said, "Wow, this is me. I'm here. And if you have warrants, let's have them." So they had to round up a cop. They had to round up a sheriff that could arrest me. So this deputy walks in. You guys, being an empath is really hard, and that's one of the reasons we don't do public stuff as much. So immediately I could feel hostility radiating off of this guy. And I was like, please, please don't let him be the one that's here to arrest me. Well, it was. Oh, and you know what's interesting? So while they were trying to get the warrants together and find a deputy to arrest me, I found out I was going to see the magistrate. So I went out to my car to get more paperwork that I wanted to take to the magistrate. While they were looking for a deputy, like, I could have just drove off. But no, I got my paperwork. I came back in. It was that dude. He came and oh, Tricky Trixie. Okay, well, we're drinking what I'm calling the Happy Tree cocktail because I include flowers from the mimosa tree, which has actually proven chemicals that affect your mental health, and they're supposed to make you happier. And gin and ginger ale, because I get drunk early and I go to bed early. Anyways, today was my hearing for the PPO, and we're talking about when I got arrested on Thursday, because I talked to you guys on Thursday and I told you what I was doing. Went to the sheriff's department to file the FOIA request, and there were warrants for me there. So we're waiting for a cop. So a sheriff comes to serve the warrants on me, and he says, how did you get here? And I said, my car is right outside. He says, well, normally I would put you in the back of my car and drive you up to the magistrate's office, but I'm going to let you drive up there because I'm a canine handler and I can't have people in my car. So I drive up there. I pulled in right by the magistrate's office and I didn't see any spots empty. So I backed out, back down the hill, and went to park in the regular parking lot. And I could feel his angst start to go up. Like, just go meet me in the magistrate's office, dude. I'm on my way. Anyway, we get in the magistrate's office, and I don't even remember what set it off because I'm just waiting for the magistrate. He tells me, sit down. And he starts ordering me around. I said, I'm just trying to use the counter. Like, I'm not, well, sit down. Finally, I said, and he didn't handcuff me. So, really, I mean, by now, does he think handcuffs are necessary? He didn't handcuff me, but I said to him, listen, I'm feeling extreme hostility coming from you. And I don't understand why. Like, I'm to you. Well, you're under arrest. How am I supposed to be? I could be handcuffing you. So instead of checking himself and saying, oh, do I have an attitude? What's going on here? He starts threatening me with handcuffs and blah, blah, blah. So here I'm like, shut down. I'm silent now. And he keeps asking me questions like, what do you mean? Why you say that? Blah, blah, blah. I said, look, I'm not in any position to argue with you or to upset you. I'm under arrest. Therefore, I'm going to keep my mouth shut from now on. And, yeah. Well, you're free to speak. I said, I don't think so. I think if I say something you don't like, you will be putting me in handcuffs and slamming me on the floor. So anyway, magistrate comes, asked me a few questions, asked me how long I've lived here, how I'm related to the complainant. Then he asked me, do I have family here, which I told him I have family in Amherst. He said, well, who is it? I told him. And then he said, do you have, what's your education? And I just kind of whispered. I said, I have a JD. And he said, oh, you're going home today? You're going to be released. So and then once the magistrate said that, the cop's attitude changed a whole lot after that. Or the deputies. Let me quit calling him a cop, the deputy. So, let's see. So he gave me $1,000 unsecured bond, which means if I don't show up for court, I owe the court $1,000. Okay, so this is on 2 trespass charges. The reality of the matter is I may have to eat those because I did trespass. One time was when the granddaughter was taunting Annika. Annika and I were sitting at our table, and she started taunting Annika with a toy and driving it back and forth right on the property line and looking at Annika and making noise like she was calling her and driving this noise-making toy back and forth. And Annika did get excited and get up and go over there, and she wanted to investigate the toy. And so she was circling around the girl, and the girl was screaming, and her grandparents weren't doing anything about it. So I went and got the dog away from the little girl. And something like that happened twice. So I may have to bite those trespass charges. I don't know what the judge will do about it. I did trespass. I knew they didn't want me over there, but I figured they'd want me to come and get the dog. I don't know. Okay, so I'm there early. So remember last week I was going to try to file for a protective order for Annika. I tried, but there was no judge, and the line to see the magistrate was really long. And they said, I saw a couple of the people today that were at the magistrate that day, and they said they were there 5 hours waiting for the magistrate. And that's because there's one magistrate for like 3 or 4 counties, and they're doing it all by video. They're in one county doing all these other counties by video. And people that are under arrest, they're going to get to see the magistrate sooner than the people that are just trying to put in a complaint or a petition or put in for a warrant. Okay, so I did not wait to file that petition because I knew there was going to be a judge. That's a good question, Oomph. I need to find that out. I did subpoena the magistrate that issued the warrant on the dog at large case. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I subpoenaed the two people next door because I don't want them in the courtroom together. I'm going to request that they have to testify separately. Okay. So the magistrates, yeah, that's, I need a pen. Hold on, I'm going to get a pen because I want to make a note about that. That's an excellent point. Are you guys, and I did, once I saw the magistrate for the trespass charges and they released me, I went back to the sheriff's department and picked up a complaint form and asked for an appointment to see the sheriff. Well, the sheriff wasn't there, blah, blah, blah. Hadn't got to my point, you could run. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oomph. Do I really want a job? Do I want a job? I've thought about it. I've thought about trying to be applying to be a magistrate. You know what? I even thought of, Oomph, I'm glad you're here because I want your input on a question that's coming up. Anyway. Oh, you know what? But we have a magistrate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. What if I have to work all night? What if I would? But I would be a good magistrate. I would. And I've thought about it. And I even thought, since this shit coming up, I have even thought about trying to get my law license here. Early mornings would take me out. See, that's me, Lori. You know I don't make appointments before noon. But so it'd be better if I did night court, right? Actually, night court might be fun. Okay, are magistrates elected? Okay, let me see. So, I'm trying to get, our sheriffs don't have body cams. I've been questioning everybody about that. There's no body cams. Yeah, that would be so funny. I bet you I couldn't do that, but that would be funny, Tricky. They don't have body cams, but they do have something that they wear on their shoulder that when they go on a call, they have car cams, and the audio from the thing on their shoulder will go to the car cam. So now I've got to request car cam video. I've got to request video from the the that room where I got taken to the magistrate when I was under arrest in a restroom. Now, I talked to a captain today who says that he's sure that there's cameras in there, but they're controlled by the Virginia Supreme Court. So that's where I would have to go to FOIA that video footage, if they'll even release it. He didn't. Oh my God, this guy, this captain. I'm not even ready to tell you about that. Let me have a drink. You know what? Can we take a dab break? Because I'm out of weeds. So can we take a real quick dab break, please? So there's kind of a strict dress code in this court too. You can't wear shorts. So guess who showed up with shorts today? My opposing party showed up in shorts. And they let him in the courtroom. So what they do, I hate it when getting arrested interfere with going to the weed store. That's the worst. Actually, I have no money. That's why I'm not going to the weed store. And my street pharmacist was out last time I contacted him. So I'm dealing with dabs right now. I don't want to do a big one because I don't want to be coughing in front of y'all. Hacking and coughing and raising a fit. Let me remind you what they said that I said before I tell you about. Oh, wait. First, I can tell you. Okay, so we're off on the warrant. I picked up a complaint form. I requested a meeting with the sheriff. And instead, the sheriff isn't here, so they offered me a meeting with a, not a marshal, not a captain, a major. He was a major, but his thing still said captain. Anyway, so I go back to court. And I file the petition for a protective order for Annika. They put it through. The clerks, they looked at me sideways. And I just keep telling them, I'm so thankful that y'all are so pleasant when I come in here. And that y'all are so nice all the time and smiling. I just keep telling them that. Even though the other day they were a little bit weird. Like after he filed the 2 trespass charges and I got served with the protective order, they started acting a little bit weird, but they're kind of back to normal now. So Annika's trespass order, she denied it. Judge would not issue a protective order for a dog. This is my statement in support of my petition for a protective order for my dog. And this says I have video and logs to prove all of it. I don't even think she read it. This judge is not even reading. Look, pictures of the dumping on my property of the poison that he's trying to poison my dog with. More pictures of poison on my property. And a picture of my cute little dog while she's at the VA hospital in her service vest. No, Lori, I know. I said to she said, I can't give the judge, they don't know the law. You guys, these people that are putting on this show don't know the law. The cops don't know the law. The judges don't know the law. Why? I asked her, I said, why? What is the reason you can't get a protective order for a dog? Because I've seen it before. And she said, where? And I said, in Indiana. It wasn't my case, but they got a protective order for a dog. She said, well, I can't give a protective order for a dog. This case is dismissed. Okay, so that one was dismissed. So then we go in for the protective order that he asked for. And I want to remind you what he said I said, if I can find it. It's in here. I had done previously, I had done a motion to amend the protective order so that I could mail legal documents, you know, just amend it so that I could mail. But anyway, where is it? I can't find it now, his statement. While I was out in the hallway, another victim's advocate came to talk to me. She said, I'm from the YWCA. I'm a victim's advocate. And would you like to talk to me? And I said, I've already talked to the victim's advocate. What do you want to talk to me about? And she said, well, sometimes when these things come up with protective orders and stuff, we actually find out that the other party is the victim. So I said, well, what do you want to know? Like at this point, I don't think anybody's going to help me. Nobody's on my side. Nobody's going to help me. The victim's advocate that I had talked to, when I was considering getting a protective order for harassment, was sitting with the petitioner. And I went and said, hey, aren't you such and such? And she's like, yeah. And I said, well, didn't I talk to you before? And she's like, yeah, but I'm on his case right now. I can't talk to you. So anyway, on and on we go. I'm looking for that, the warrant. Anyway, it said things like that I had said to their 5-year-old granddaughter that I wish her and her grandparents would die, and that I wish their house would burn down with the dog in it. Those are the kinds of things that they said that I said. I'm still looking. My papers are all discombobulated again. I have to get them in order again. Where'd that go? Is this it? Yeah. Okay. Nope, that's not it. That's about the dog at large. Anyway, those are the things he said. And then he said that that I was yelling at them. They came home at 9:55 at night and I was yelling at them. So I told the judge, I said, Judge, the only thing on this statement that's true is that I did talk smack to them when they came home that night. I said they came home late, the dog was barking, I went out to get the dog, and yeah, I was talking smack to them. That's the only thing on here that's true. And then he's telling this long story about how the granddaughter doesn't want to come to the house anymore, to their house anymore, because she's scared. And these things that I've said to her are causing her so much anxiety that she has to go to therapy. I hope that little girl's in therapy, but not because of me. That little girl has issues that don't have anything to do with me. But anyway, it's because of me. She's in therapy and blah, 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 blah. Right? Let me have a drink. Yeah, he said a lot of stuff. After he talked, she said, "What do you want to say?" And I said a little bit. I said, "Nothing in here is true. I wouldn't say these things to an adult, let alone a child." I said, "I have 17 grandchildren. I've raised 7 children, including 2 therapeutic foster children." I said, "I would never say these things to a child." And I did not. And I challenged them to prove that I did, because there is no evidence, because it didn't happen. And then I said, "I would like to question the witness." And she said, "Absolutely not." Now, all the research I did, according to the law in Virginia, if you're representing yourself, you have a right to cross examine the witness. But she wouldn't let me cross examine the witness. So I told her, I said, "Your Honor, previously on June 8th, they came in to try to get a protective order, and they didn't allege any threats of violence. So they talked to the witness advocate, who gave them this paper right here, a copy of this paper right here, that tells them exactly what they have to say to get a protective order." And then they went back and revised their story to fit what was going on in this paper. She says, none of that is relevant to this. I'm like, "Well, Your Honor, I think it is." Okay, so she dismisses his case. There's the bottom line. The PPO was dismissed because he couldn't allege. She asked him, "Has she threatened you? Has she threatened you with physical violence?" He said no. And so she dismissed the case. And then he was going on. Remember, I have already sent him my first request for discovery. Discovery is not your friend, my love. Discovery is never your friend, my love. But check this out. Oh, I need you to listen. I need your opinion. Lori, I took their application for the to the prosecutor's office. They didn't want to listen to me at all. They didn't want to have anything to do to me. They said, "You have to go to the sheriff." I went to the sheriff. Okay? The sheriff said, it was the same one who arrested me. And I said, "This is perjury. This is falsifying court documents, and I want these people charged. And I want you to write a report about a crime that has been committed." And he said, "No, I'm not going to." I said, because he said, "Can you prove that you didn't say that?" And I said, "I'm sorry if I'm yelling at you guys. I'm sorry. Yes, I have a lot of energy coming out. I'm giving it to you guys. I cried most of the way home. But anyway, I'm sorry if I'm not yelling at you. You know that." So anyway, he said, "You can't prove you didn't say that. So therefore, I'm not going to write a report." I said, "He can't prove that I did." He said, "Well," I said, "So it's not for you to decide whether I said it or not. It's for the court to decide. It's your job to write the report so that when I win this PPO and it's dismissed, I can come back and file the report that they lied on a court document." No, he's straight up. Oh yeah, always innocent until proven guilty, right? That's what I'm saying. They're fucking treating me like I'm guilty just because this old man said so. So where are we? Okay, so the judge dismisses the PPO, and he gets really upset, and he's like, "What do I do in the meantime? And what about this paperwork?" And he holds up this envelope that I sent him with the first request for production of documents. And he said, she sent me this and she's trying to say she's an attorney and blah, blah, blah. Okay, here it comes, Oomph. I've been signing Jamet Pruitt Esquire. I did the research previous. And I'm pretty sure we're going to do some more research here in a second. But I'm pretty sure if you have a doctorate of any kind, you can call yourself Esquire. I think. Now, this judge straight up told me, because she said, are you a licensed attorney in Virginia? And I said, no, ma'am, I am not, but I am a lawyer. You guys, the definition of lawyer and attorney are two different things. So I said, I am a lawyer. You don't have a right to sign anything, Esquire. Okay, Your Honor, I'll change it to JD. Fine, she says. And then she tells the man he doesn't have to pay attention to anything that I'm sending him. You guys, I'm representing myself in a criminal misdemeanor case. And she told this man that he doesn't have to comply with discovery after the last judge just told us that I have a right to discovery. Now he's yelling about some of the questions that I asked because and he says they're allegations. I'm not making allegations. Imagine VA bar rules. Okay, call the Virginia bar. Or look up Virginia bar rules. Okay, where's my notes of what I need to do? You're right. You guys, I can't think of every fucking thing. Like, I'm doing this alone. And I'm feeling so alone in this. And, it's fine. Okay. What'd you say? Imagine Virginia bar rules. VA bar rules signature. Shelly, I probably will. I gotta call the court clerk and get her name because I didn't even write her name. Think in general, Esquire is not uncommon from lawyers not practicing. I think you're right. And we have here Black's Law Dictionary. Let's look it up. Let's look up the term Esquire, which I have done before I ever started using it. The other thing is, mostly only men use it. Mostly men use it. It's very rare that you find a woman who uses it. You guys, I have cried so much in front of so many people, it's embarrassing. Tricky. Come on, girl, you're strong. You can overcome these hillbillies and the state. Lori, you're not alone. We are just watching, supporting from afar. Transcript for that statement about discovery. I don't think they have court reporters in there. I don't think they're making transcripts. But let me see. Transcript for today's hearing. Most of the cases today were financial, were bill collectors. Can you believe that judge told him not to comply with discovery? I've already submitted a motion for the judge to make an order for him to comply with discovery because I knew he wasn't going to. Okay, so for also on the trespass charges, I went in today to file for a continuance because so that I could do discovery because I have so many cases going on right now. I needed some more time, and the clerk advised me that the first court date is just an advisory. Hold on, sorry guys, getting a phone call from a debt collector. Um, the sorry, what was I talking about? Where was I, guys? Help me. Almost like she should recluse herself from the case like they are related. I don't know, oomph. But yeah, but it's a first edition. What's a first edition? Statement about discovery. Yeah. My law dictionary. It's a sixth edition. It's a sixth edition. And I don't know who's going to be presiding over the criminal proceeding, but I should find out. I was talking about the trespass, right? So I talked to the court clerk. She didn't have any of the affidavits yet. They didn't have any of the paperwork for it yet, so she hasn't been able to provide me with the affidavits that they wrote. The I want to write a complaint about the court because these warrants that they're sending out are so vague that nobody I mean, how do you know what you're even doing? But so I was trying to get a continuance for the trespass charges, but she said that this court date is just an advisory court date for you to enter a plea and talk about whether you want to get an attorney or not, whether you're going to represent yourself or whether you want a public defender. I said, oh, so I can get a public defender for these charges. And she said, well, maybe. So I'm going to apply for a public defender. That doesn't mean I won't be participating in my own defense, because I can go to jail on these trespass charges. So we were looking for. So anyway, my protective order for Annika was denied. Their protective order was dismissed. She told them not to comply with discovery. She told me I can't use the term Esquire. I think those are the main points right now. I didn't file for I wanted to file for the continuance just to be an annoyance, but I didn't file for the continuance because I want to go ahead and enter a plea and file for a public defender. Okay, Esquire. ST SP SCPQ Esquire. In English law, a title of dignity next above gentleman and below knight. Also a title of office given to sheriffs, sergeants, and barristers at law, justices of the peace, and others. In United States, title commonly appended after name of attorney. So, according to that definition, I should not be using the term Esquire. So, I will from now on just put JD next to my signature. I think, though, what if we look at Wikipedia? What does Wikipedia say about? Let's see. How does Wikipedia define the term Esquire?
Wikipedia defines Esquire, which is abbreviated as Esquire, as a courtesy title. In the United States, it follows a lawyer's name, showing they are licensed. In the United Kingdom, it was traditionally used for men of the landed gentry, though it's now mostly obsolete. For legal advice, consult a professional.
Okay, so I have to eat crow on that one. So I will submit an amendment. I also have to submit a amended certificate of service because I said that I mailed all these pleadings the other day and I didn't. I'm going to mail them probably tomorrow. So I will also submit an amendment to the record to amend my signature. Sometimes I really love June. Usually when I'm missing my grandma. Out of all my ancestors, I miss my grandma the most. She was the one I called when I was drunk at 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's see. Okay, so after court, oh yeah, they made Victor wait. They made the petitioner wait out in the hallway because he had shorts on, but they did let him come in and testify. And they did that for several people today. Like this couple, these people that I met when I was at the magistrate's office the other day trying to get the PPO, I could tell they had been fighting. I'm like, y'all been scrapping. And they started telling me a little bit of their story. Turns out today I was talking to them. They were there today. And they're out on the street because they have a protective order. They can't go within 200 feet of these people that live right next door to them in an apartment complex. So they can't even go home to their own apartment and get a change of clothes. So they're wearing the same thing that they got arrested in on Thursday. You hear me? I said, you need to put in a motion to amend that 200-foot thing so you can go home. Anyway, they were trying to get a protective order against the other people today. And they thought their plan was to wait for the other people to leave and then they would go home and then the other people next door couldn't come home. Anyway, it was kind of funny. He used to live in Hell Bend down the street past my house, so he knew me, my house, my car. Everybody knows my car. Let's see what else. Okay. So after the hearings, I went back over to the sheriff's department to try to talk to a major. This major, very handsome fellow, very handsome. I didn't even write his name down. I looked at it. I didn't write it down. You know, I asked him, he came out and I said, is there anywhere that we can talk in private? There was another lady there. And he sat down on the bench and he said, what's wrong with talking right here? I said, I suppose nothing. What if I was a victim that had very sensitive things to relay to this guy? What if I needed to relay to him very personal and sensitive information that was so, what do you call it? Insensitive. That was so insensitive. But since it was an issue of public matter that I wanted to talk to him about, I said, okay, fine. And I didn't want to bother the other lady with my business. I didn't, So we sat on the bench, right there on the Group W bench. You have to be a boomer to know, or above, to know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, listen to Arlo Guthrie, Alice's Restaurant. I was sitting there on the Group W bench. I get so overwhelmed, y'all. Telling this man, trying to tell this man, listen, I am sure that you had several calls from me and from him with the with the hairy eyeball. I don't understand the hairy eyeball. The guy was he had, oh my God, like, you know, he worked out and he was proud of it because his shirt was tight, it was fitted, it had the seams in it. You could see through his uniform he had abs. Oh, I was on the bench. No, I was only on the bench with the captain. Well, he's a major now, but his badge says captain. I called him on that. Anyway, I wanted to talk to him about how we could figure out a way to create some kind of community protection. Like I said, I know you've got calls from them, you've got calls from me. I wanted to report a crime. The officer refused to come out. I said, it may have not come to this. And I opened my box with all these paperwork. I said, maybe it could have just been a conversation. It didn't need to come to all this. Maybe an officer could have went over there and said, listen, you can't put things on this lady's property. You can't put poison and rotten food and tree limbs on his property, on her property. Come to me and say, you must keep the dog off his property. Maybe a simple mediation. When I call and he says, well, that's not our job. It's not our job to mediate. I said, is it your job to help provide for community safety? Is it your job to serve and protect? Is it your, and things like that. And I'm asking him. And he started putting words in my mouth. He started saying I said things I didn't say. So I finally was trying to end the conversation. He kept digging into this circumstance. And I said, I kept saying, I'm not really here to talk to you about this circumstance. I'm here to talk to you about how we can improve the system as a whole. How we can somehow create a system that protects the community. Because I'm out here by myself. I have no protection. Nobody's sticking up for me. What do we do? Why can't, it's not our job to mediate. It's also his job. I finally said, what I'm hearing from you is that you just want to defend your deputies. Absolutely, that's my job. I said, no, sir. Your first job is to the community. Your first job is to serve the citizens of this community. But I'm done talking to you because I clearly am not getting I'm sorry, I cannot word my point so that you can understand. I'm clearly not getting my point across. You're twisting my words, and I'm now going to end this conversation. And I left. And nothing was resolved. Oh, he did say, is there anything else I can do for you? And I said, yes, I would like an appointment with the sheriff. And he said, well, I can do what I can to make that happen, but I can't promise anything. I said, but you have my name and you have my phone number. And you will request a meeting with the sheriff. And he said yes. And I said, okay. So, every fucking buddy knows who I am. Now, everybody knows my phone number. And y'all, and this is gonna make me cry because when I got home and I opened the door, the way that Annika was hugging me was so crazy. She has the best hugs. And you know how wonderful that is when you walk in and your dog wants to greet you with such joy and love and compassion, no matter what you do to them, practically. And so we Lori, and we had a little bit of a long talk about body cams too, because I said, I think you all need body cams. And he said, well, so do we. But you know how much it is? It's $2 million. Like, I don't care how much it is. Give up something else. Don't buy tanks. How about that? How about you don't put those gang patches on your shirts? Put that money towards body cams. Well, he told me that all his deputies would love to have body cams, but they're working with this money issue, so maybe that's something I need to take to the county commissioners, yeah? Those flowers smell delicious. You can make perfume out of them. I don't know if you guys have them. I know we had them abundantly in Oklahoma, and we called them troll hair trees. And I didn't really know the benefits of them at the time because I had a huge, beautiful tree with these flowers all over them. And you can make perfume, you can eat them, you can make medicine. They're fantastic. Okay. And you can find them in the wild. It's free. It's free food. It's free medicine. You guys, we don't have to support the pharmaceutical companies. We don't have to support the big food corporations that are feeding us poison. There's free food out there. All you got to do is learn and forage it. Oh, I was going to also tell you the definition between lawyer and attorney, because I have looked up that lately too. L-A... Yeah, so Annika and I, when I got home, in order to decompress, we took a walk in the woods. It was hot and muggy, but it was really nice. Picked some wildflowers, discovered some new plants that I need to look up and see what they are. And yeah, that really helped a lot. But I wanted to check in with y'all. I needed to talk to somebody. I needed to cry with somebody. I'm saying a lot today. Exactly. They named natural plants as weeds and got people hooked on big pharma pills instead. You guys, one of the plants I've discovered that I love is plantain. Broadleaf plantain and narrowleaf plantain. All of the plant is edible and medicinal. At certain times, they do certain things. This plant is also named the white man's footprint. because it came from Europe. Apparently, on the bottom of people's shoes from Europe. And so everywhere, it wasn't a native plant before the white man got here. And everywhere that they walked, this plant would grow. So the natives called it the white man's footprint. And it is, if you can find it, check it out. It's amazing. It is yummy. It's very yummy. So that's another thing I'm doing to fight the escalated prices at the grocery stores. I'm foraging. Okay. Lawyer. L-A-W. Lawful. Lloyd. Come on. Lawyer. A person learned in law as an attorney, counsel, or solicitor, a person licensed to practice law. Any person who prosecutes or defends causes in court. So according to this definition, a lawyer has to be licensed. I don't know where I read the definition before that if you went to law school, you were a lawyer. Okay, let's look up attorney. I thought it was in this dictionary. M-N-O-P-Q-R-S-T. So I have to eat my words. You guys, I can admit when I'm wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong, and I may, according to this dictionary, I may be wrong. Arm's length transaction is highlighted. Pretty sure, okay. Clanker, pretty, Sue, VA bar doesn't like it. License not up to, yeah, I'm gonna change that. Oh, thank you for looking at that. Okay. It's okay. I'll change that. I don't care. But I remember years ago I researched it, and the definition was any gentleman with a doctorate or something like that. Okay, attorney. So they don't let me use, in the most general sense, this term denotes an agent or substitute or one who is appointed and authorized to act in the place or stead of another. An agent or one acting on behalf of another. In its most common usage, however, unless a contrary meaning is clearly intended, this term means attorney at law, lawyer, or counselor at law. Attorney means attorney, professional law association, corporate partner, the word attorney. Well, okay, so it's fine. I'll use JD. I don't care. But gentlemen from Old England used the term esquire even when they were not attorney. It would be in the commentary in the Royal Opinion. So I need to go to the law library. However, I do need, like, I don't need to do anything about this judge telling him not to respond to discovery. It's the next judge for the next case, which I need to find out who will be. I don't think they know. I don't even think they know what judge is going to show up what day, to tell you the truth. Okay, so yeah, I'll fix my mistakes. I'll admit when I'm wrong. Yeah, it's up to the judge in the dog at large case already told him that I had a right to discovery. So we'll see what happens in that next case. I've done what I can do. I'll wait on the trespass charges, and I'll file for a public defender, even though I don't trust them to do anything. Do you guys know all attorneys work for the court? Somebody, it was actually my last mental health counselor that showed me that in the old law, attorneys, all of them, are officers of the court. They're not there for you. And the attorneys we have hired in the last couple of years have clearly worked for the court and not for their client. I'm telling you guys, my son lost everything. Remember when we got arrested? Almost 3 years ago, you guys. It's coming up on March, and it will be my deadline to file a 1983 case. We hired 2 attorneys. Neither one of them did shit. You guys, the last attorney that we hired for my son showed up at the custody hearing and didn't even know that my son is the one that had filed the petition. He acted like my son was the respondent, not the petitioner. He did no preparation. He showed up smelling like sour alcohol, sweating like a stuck pig, white and pasty. That's how this lawyer that we paid almost $10,000 to show up at a hearing showed up. And now they're trying to sue him for fees. My son lost his home, custody of his children, all the money they had accumulated in the marriage, all the property. I mean, I think he's going to get his motorcycle back. He did get his chef equipment back. He gets supervised visits with his kids. And guess who supervises? His ex. His narcissistic ex. Who calls the cops all the time. Any little thing, she wants to call the cops. What else did he get? Oh, he got some of his books back. He got, in the divorce, I think he got the furniture that used to belong to my mom. That was in their house. And other than that, he was kicked out on the street with no clothes, no nothing, living out of his van, trying to figure this shit out. Her attorney belongs to a cult. Her attorney belongs to a cult led by a narcissistic woman. That is an interesting story. You guys, I even have the book. I have the book. I read it. Inside one of America's most dangerous cults, Broken Faith, my ex-daughter-in-law's attorney is her mother is one of the head honchos in this cult in North Carolina. Look it up. Word of Faith Fellowship, WOFF, North Carolina. Check it out. You can even see interviews. Her name is Gabrielle Valentine. Yeah, but my son lost everything. And it's fine. He gets to see his kids. I'm sure that will change as his circumstances change. Okay. What else? guys, I think I've given you all the information I can give you. Let's see. It would be in commentary, the roller, the pen. Okay. Pretty sure that is Clanker, Pretty Sue, VA Bar, doesn't like Esquire blanket. Yeah. That's, yeah, it sounds like that. Okay. All right. What do you think? I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. I'm not going to do legal work. You guys, I had things I wanted to do this weekend and I just couldn't. I just could not. I did read some articles about, how to defend a PPO, what to expect in a PPO hearing. But you can read those things and the judge is going to do whatever they want. And yeah, the little man. Oh, I actually told the judge because he's trying to accuse me of saying all these things. I said, Your Honor, the only thing I've said to the minor grandchild is stop taunting the dog. The worst thing I've said to Victor is you got a tiny penis. Yeah, I said that in court. It is. That's the worst thing I've said to him. You got a tiny penis and you're acting like a big man baby. Now, where does he get any threats out of that? So he's in court screaming about, well, what am I going to do then? What she said, she dismissed it. Well, what am I going to do? What about this paperwork? What about this? What? She's asking if I'm a veteran and I can prove that, and that's none of her business. Well, it is my business because it goes to his truthfulness, because he has claimed to be a veteran to get services. He may be a veteran. I'm just asking questions. And in discovery, you can always just write not relevant. You answer the questions. You can write not relevant. None of your business. But what is relevant, which is the evidence that you plan to use at trial, you must produce. We'll see. We'll see if they make him comply with discovery or not. It's going to be weird because I'm going to mail him a whole bunch of documents tomorrow. I mailed today the cease and desist letter after the PPO was dropped. I have filed that letter in all the cases so that the court can be aware. Somebody reads that shit. Somebody is going to get nosy and read that shit. Because this county is nosy as fuck. Everybody knows everybody. And they nosy. The court clerks, they cute, they sweet, but they nosy. And they talk. They talk because I got some kind of message that, oh yeah, threatening message from their daughter that says, why are you using me and my sister's name? Why are you talking about us? Because you made threats to me. Because you threatened to kick my ass. I don't respond. I'm not responding. I don't respond to any of their messages. And did I tell you he called me after I got served the protective order? Because he had just picked up the discovery. So he called me and swore he was Jimmy Gnome. All right. You guys, what else? What else? What else? What do you want to know? What do you want to talk about? I really don't want to be alone right now, but I just am not the type of person that can just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. What do you guys think of the thumbnail pic? Look. No, I'm not good at just coming up with idle chatter. Like, we have some people that were in or have been in our circles. Is she hugging her toy? She's so cute. She's so beautiful. When on days that I'm not feeling good, or clock says you can, Annika's good, and her training is going good. Um, she's when she can tell when I'm upset, and she'll do things like that. She has to be touching me all day, even if it's just a paw on my foot. I can't go to the bathroom alone. She's very vocal. We're working on this vocalness because she barks a bit more than I would like her to. Um, she huffs and puffs a lot. Some of us are more, I know, more chatty than others. That's one of the reasons that I'm not good at online dating, because I'm not good at idle chat. And so I'm not like, come at me with some substance. Give me something to sink my teeth in to talk about. Not, yo, what's up? What's on your mind? Like, huh? I don't know you, so it ain't your dick. Anyways, yeah, I'm not good at it at all. Um, I'm one of those people because of my dad. We would ride in the car for hours, 6 to 8 hours, not be allowed to say a word. My dad liked quiet. We were not allowed to fight. We were not allowed to sing. We were not allowed to play. We were not allowed to talk. We were quiet. So it's very easy for me to, I can ride with you for hours and not say a word. I dated this one guy one time. He was a truck driver. Is after I was already an attorney, licensed in the state of Oklahoma. Um, and I was riding with him one day, and I was quiet. I just riding, looking at the scenery. And it made him so nervous. And he told me that when women are quiet, it means they're plotting. That, Lori, I bet you can. I bet you can drive for hours and not shut up. I reread David Foster Wallace's essay on the Iowa State Fair from the 90s to prepare myself better to appreciate the so-called Great American One. Magnificent writing. Okay. David Foster. Yeah, so I guess you guys watched some of the news about the fair. That was weird. Weird as heck. And then I heard Trump is going to give Diddy a pardon, but that didn't happen. But Trump did pass out some more pardons. Should I write to him and see if he'll give my son a pardon? I mean, if he's considering giving Diddy a pardon, surely he'll give my son a pardon. I got a problem, y'all. Annika is chewing up the furniture. Let me see. Check it out. She won't quit. She won't quit. Look. Look. both couches, my tables, my chairs, my rocking chair. She won't, even though she has tons of toys. She loves her toys. I keep trying to trade the furniture for a toy. She seems to need to chew on the furniture. So I'm really happy that most of my furniture was free. And it doesn't really fit in here anyway, so I can't afford to get new right now. So we'll just continue to put blankets and cloths over the holes. It's fine. You guys, I have very rarely bought new pieces of furniture. The new pieces of furniture I have bought are mostly beds and mattresses. Got $2 lying around. If I had $2 lying around, I'd buy some body cams for the sheriff. But I know who does have $2 lying around. There's a bunch of them up there in Washington, D.C., while the rest of us are going to the food bank to eat. She's playing with her monkey now. Pardon for son first. I know. Pardon my son. Then body cams. Oh, I see. If I had $2 I could get a pardon. Ah, yes. No, I don't have $2 laying around. This monkey came with her. The breeder had bought this for them. She bought one for each of the litter. She likes it, but she has lots of toys she loves. She loves toys. Look, here's an ad for BarkBox. I love BarkBox toys. They always have different textiles, different feels, different sounds, and she really loves them. She likes them all. And she's still teething in the back, I think. So, I looked up the law, and guess what? You know, they got such a problem because I go braless over here. I have found out that it's legal to go topless in Virginia. A woman can be topless anywhere a man is allowed to be topless. So, I can be topless on my own property, and I wonder how they would like that. You guys, I have a friend in Florida that's been going through similar, like, only her, prove it. Bob Swagger, prove it. I can't prove it on YouTube. You're going to have to join Patreon. I don't have a Patreon yet, but I bet if I did, y'all would join it. Because we could talk about all kinds of crazy shit. Y'all don't know nothing about me. Y'all don't know nothing. I have no problem with the human naked body. I have no problem at all. I think it's stupid that the Puritan society sexualized what is natural and normal. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, if I go topless on my property so to piss off the neighbor, yeah, he's screaming and yelling to the court like, what do I do now? How do I protect myself now? But the court's like, I don't know. But to get a protective order, there has to be a threat of violence. I gotta get her, I'm gonna try to get her groomed before the next court date because I plan on taking her with me to the dog at large case. So y'all, who's gonna put money on my books if I have to spend time in jail for trespass? You know, when I got arrested Tuesday, or no, it was Thursday, I was in the, when I was waiting for the magistrate, I was like, oh shit, if I get arrested, what about Annika? Annika's at the house alone. Well, um, actually, the my son-in-law was sitting at my house waiting for me to come home to build the privacy wall. So I'm talking to that freaking major and I'm telling him, look, she was a puppy and she was given permission to be on their property. All of a sudden, when he came home, they changed that without communicating that to me. So I didn't even know. No, the fence is not up yet. Hold on, I'll tell you about the wall. So I didn't even know that they didn't want her on their property until I saw them putting poison on the ground and I saw the Facebook post. And then I sat for 3 days on the property line training her not to go there. And I have been working at it. And she is doing way better. And the only time she goes over there is when they taunt her. And you know what he said to me? He said, it sounds like the only problem is you need to keep the dog off their property. Sir, that is not what I'm here to talk to you about. I'm here to talk to you about how we can work together as a team to keep situations from escalating to this level. That's what I'm here to talk to you about. All right, what are we at? Somebody said, okay, the fence is not up yet. I have the pallets. My son-in-law has some, he said he has some, I was going to buy some 4x4s, but he has some 6x6s, he said, that he can use for anchors. I have to buy 2x4s. I've talked to my neighbor. He has a motorized post hole digger. I knew either his tractor or his, and I caught him yesterday. And I said, will you please help me? He says, everything okay? I said, no. I said, will you please help me? And he said, yes, either he will come and help or he will loan us the post hole digger. So now, oh, you guys, here comes UPS. These people, I swear, you guys, see, this is stupid. I wish I didn't have to watch them all the time. Annika, stay. You stay inside. I don't want you barking at the UPS truck. No, 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 no. They don't have any money. They get food donated. They get services from volunteers. But every day they're getting UPS. Not every day. A lot. Okay, see my pallets? Do we have picture? Do I have enough signal to have picture? So you see all my pallets sitting there? There's going to be enough. There's a couple places where it will be 7 foot and a couple places it will be only half of that. So yeah, I've been cleaning up over there and trimming the trees and getting ready to build this fence. So the kids are going on vacation. I think Thursday through Sunday. So we should be able to schedule everybody to come together and build the wall next week, actually. And that will help a lot. And that's what I told, that major kept saying, sounds like you keeping your dog out of their yard is the answer. And I said, it's not. He dumps on my yard. What do you mean he dumps? I said, he puts poison and yard refuse. and rotten food in my yard. And he says, yard refuse, if he's blowing his leaves and some of the leaves go in your yard, that's not illegal. I said, no, that's not, maybe not. But dumping his yard refuse in my yard is illegal. Trying to kill my dog is illegal. Well, this major, I don't know, has his mind made up that they're the ones that need protection and I'm the problem. Let's see, I was going to tell you another funny thing that happened. Y'all know I don't look for fights. Like, I did not want this fight. I really did not. Look, we got, she likes this one. It makes a crazy noise. I'm not looking for fights, but I started standing up for myself. I quit letting him bully me, and I started standing up for myself. And even though, the other thing I told him that was illegal is destruction of my property. Also, attempting to kill or maim or harm my dog. I said all of those things are illegal by statute. He didn't know. They don't know the law. Y'all judges and cops don't know the law. And that's why they rely on attorneys to teach them the law. And that's why attorneys and motions and da-da-da, because they have to educate the judges. Anyway, the major was convinced that I'm the problem and that they didn't do anything. Oh, and he kept saying, what I'm hearing from you is you're saying that we don't do anything to serve the public. I said, sir, that is not what I said. Stop twisting my words. Well, that's what you just said. No, I'm sorry that's what you heard, but that is not what I said. You know, you can't talk to people like that. He did not come to me to hear me out with an open mind and an open heart to try to understand what I was trying to say. Because what I was trying to say was not really about me. It was about the relationship with the sheriff's office and the community. How do we improve that? And how do they should know the laws, therefore they're paid to enforce. And you know what? I said to him, the officers should take the report. They should listen to the person instead of being power hungry. That's what I said. He turned that around and said that I said that their sheriff's department is just power hungry and they don't want to help anybody. That's not what I said. I said instead of being power hungry, how about we try to help the citizens and serve the community? Yeah. Defensive authoritarian chud. His only job. And so if I go put in this, you guys, I will not call the sheriffs again. I won't call them for anything. And I told them, you guys, I used to tell everybody that Campbell County, Virginia Sheriff's Department was the best sheriff's department I have ever come in contact with. So I used to tell people that. I said, but something has changed. Something has really changed. I don't know what it is because we didn't get a new sheriff. The sheriff got reelected. I'm gonna make me another drink. Y'all coming with me? But yeah, he just his job is to defend his guys, not to serve the public or listen to the citizens. Because I asked him, I said, I called to report a crime and you refused, the sheriff's department refused to respond. I said there was poison in my yard that I could have shown to the sheriff. Didn't the Supreme Court say police don't have to protect citizens? Maybe, yes, like in an emergency, like if somebody's dying and all they had to do is give mouth to mouth. Yeah. You guys, it's not about protecting us. It's not about serving us. It's about serving those in power and making money for whatever agency, whether it's the county, the city, the state, the federal government. It's all about charging these fees. How much are they going to charge me on the dog at large? I think they can give me a fine anywhere from $50 to $250, right? I'm already going to the freaking food bank. I can't leave my house most of the time because I don't have any gas. That money could go towards the 2x4s to build the fence, right? But yeah, they're going to charge me a fine. What does that solve? And then on these trespass charges, they're going to charge me more fines? They're going to give me jail time? I don't have a record. That was another question the magistrate asked. You know, do you have a criminal record? No, I don't. And then I was like, because I had to think, like, out of all the times I've got arrested, how many criminal records do I have? I don't have any criminal records. I don't have any convictions. I'm going to put a fresh flower in too. Look. They smell really nice, guys. I actually might make some perfume. I've already got some in alcohol to make tincture. You guys, this is kitchen witchery. Okay? When I talk about witchcraft and doing witchy stuff, this is it. I'm a green witch. A green witch works with the planet and nature and the plants for healing. And yeah. So we're doing some kitchen witchery today. We're going to put the flour in with the alcohol to extract the chemicals that will make me happy. What did I do with the gin? The gin's over here. You guys, here's my I found this when I've been unpacking. This is in front of my law school, University of Wyoming. This is one of my graduation pictures. My mom made this outfit, and she was in the IFB cult, so of course it had to be long. The dress had no sleeves, so I had to have a jacket. There's my announcement. University of Wyoming. There's my babies. So my mama made these dresses too, and the dress that matched the doll. There's Judith. There's Bobatu. And there's Tio. Is Chef BP, but the kids call him Tio. So There you go. I just got to notice that our mutual person that we track sometimes is live again. Huh. Where'd my glass go? What did I do with my glass, Annika? See, she was just chilling in the living room. I get up to come in the kitchen and here she is. She's beautiful. She's so pretty. Annika's so pretty. Come here, you want to dance? Come here, dance with me. Dance with me. Come on. Up, 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 up. Dance, dance, dance with me. Good girl. Good girl. Dance. Kiss. 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 Good girl. Oh. Her nickname is Mud Mouth and Big Butt. There's your dog. Are you guys proud of your dog? I want you to know I'm taking care of your dog. Not just my dog, it's our dog. Her hair is starting to cord, y'all. So I'm trying to get in there and separate the cords, and she ain't having it. See? See, she's got a clump right here that needs to be pulled. Oh, got it. Oh, got it. She don't like it. She'll get used to it. Miklos got used to it, and it got to be a very soothing activity for us. My double chin is diminishing as I lose weight. So yeah, I don't know how to find that lady from the YWCA again. I actually have looked into the YWCA and considered trying to be a victim's advocate, but I would only want to be a victim's advocate for victims of sexual assault. Yeah, that's the kind of victim's advocate I would like to be. And I may go talk to the YWCA about it. I have a whole bunch of clothes I need to drop off. I seriously need to go through my closet. And I seriously need to just get rid of everything that's too big and take it to the YWCA, because they also have a lot of ministry for homeless women. Yeah. I think the YWCA in Lynchburg does a lot, so I'm going to go down there and check it out. Maybe they'll let us do some tour. So when I do talk to the sheriff, I'm going to ask him if I can record the conversation, because of the way that deputy was twisting my words. Come on. I've been thinking about using the bullhorn. The bullhorn's right here by the door. Is she here? He don't like her. He doesn't have his noisemakers going off anymore since I pulled her out for a couple days. He turned his noisemakers off. So, yeah, what was I saying? I forgot. Let's do another dab or something. Well, we learned something today. We learned that I can be wrong sometimes. I'm wrong lots of times. I'm wrong all the time. Pluck, I have very different... Pluck and I have very... This is Lori. Lori, my levy. I love you. Pluck and I have very different political views, yet she has been very kind and generous to me. Getting upset is not hate. If you don't like her, move on. Oh, was somebody complaining? Oh, here we go. Who's this weirdo? Junior Colt Rain. Nobody is watching your channel because you seem super hateful. You are literally seething with hatred. That's why nobody's watching my channel, because I very rarely post anymore. That's why nobody's watching. And the people that are watching my channel are the ones that I need to be watching my channel. Because the main reason that I'm coming on right now is not for clicks and views. It's because I need to talk to my friends. You seem super hateful. You're literally seething with hatred. You know, I have a feeling that Junior Colt Rain is somebody who is involved with the somebody that lives next door. And I can tell you that none of the neighbors like them either. The neighbors have been used and abused by them, and therefore just don't have anything to do with them anymore. They never have visitors. Their kids don't even come and see them unless they want something. Anyway, I'm going to quit talking about them. I just wanted to talk about the legal stuff. Nobody likes hate like yours. All the normal people are so done with hateful people like you, always complaining. And no, I'm not the one always complaining. They're the ones always complaining. Not watching right now. So, you guys, it may come to a time where I'm going to ask you to submit character letters to the court. Because even though there's only 15 of you in here, I know there's 3 to 5 of you that have known me for the last 5 years. At least. I too speak for the normal people. So now listen to you hating on your neighbors now. You can't stop hating on people. My neighbors started the battle. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the court proceedings that went on this morning with my feud with my neighbor. That is what I came on here to talk about. So that's what we're talking about. I don't hate them. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. I want them to leave me alone. I want them to not talk to me. I want them to not taunt my dog. I want them to not put their litter on my property. I want them to stop trying to poison my dog. Oh, my friend down in Florida going through a similar thing. They actually poisoned her dog and she ended up with thousands of dollars of vet bills. She's won most of her cases finally, but in the meantime, her door got knocked down. She got knocked down by the sheriff, arrested, a concussion. She's got a 1983 case pending. It's ridiculous. It is freaking ridiculous. I don't hate those people. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. I want them to leave me alone. The fact that they're liars and they're scam artists is what it is. But it's not my problem anymore because they ain't getting shit from me anymore. I spent 2 years doing everything I could for them. Everything, trying to be a good neighbor. 2 years. I put up boundaries. I quit doing things for them and I told them why. And now all of a sudden they have a problem with my dog. 2.5 years I've lived here and they never had a problem with my dog before. My old dog was able to go over there. No problem. All the neighborhood dogs go over there. They don't blow horns at the other neighborhood dogs. It's personal. I'm telling you, it's personal. Because I put up boundaries. I told them how I was feeling, that I wasn't going to mow their lawn anymore and why. That I didn't feel like they treated their dog appropriately and therefore I shouldn't even be at their house. Therefore I wasn't going to take care of their yard. I wasn't going to drive her to work every day because you know I can't even get out of the house in the morning. That's one of my symptoms of my illness. So I can't do for them anymore. I can barely take care of myself. And that's why they're angry. And that's why they're making a big issue out of the dog. Okay? Yes, they're trying to poison my dog. He swings sticks at her, he kicks her, he throws things at her when she's on my property. We share a property line. Fine. So you're on my side now. But anyway. Anyway, we go on. With my happy tree drake. I'm going to be tired now after all that ranting and raving. I started this art challenge. It's called Pick 5. A Pick 5 art challenge. And I even went and bought a notebook and some poster board. So what you do is you use like I had a magazine, and sorry you're going through this, breathe and take care of you and Annika. Thanks, Seeger's mom. We did, when I got home from court, we took a walk together and picked some wildflowers and, you know, decompressed and, yeah, we'll be all right. I think he's more upset than I am. But anyway, the magazines I chose, I hadn't seen a Vogue or a GQ in ages, years. You guys, my mom was so fashionable. My mom was very, very fashionable. We used to get Vogue, and then we used to, you know, make garments fashioned after Vogue or what was fashionable. Anyway, so I decided I wanted to look at a Vogue and a GQ because I hadn't seen them in ages. Truth is, I was very disappointed. I wasn't thrilled with, they were the December 2025 edition, and I really wasn't that happy. Anyway, but what I did was I got a number generator, and you put in the page 1 through however many pages in that magazine, and then you tell it to pick 5 numbers. So you get those pages to make a collage sheet. So my granddaughter was here with me doing it, and she did it too, but the first one I did GQ and she did Vogue. And here's my page. I don't know how well, there's glare from the window. Let's see if it's this way. Here's my page. It says, take it further. It takes time to become an icon. Yeah. So this was GQ, December 2025. I like it. And then my next page is Vogue. And it was interesting because my granddaughter did GQ, and our pages turned out very, very similar on the second one. So here's my Vogue page. Interesting, really interesting skirt up there. Black and white background. So one of these days I'm going to do a drunk art challenge with you guys and let you guys pick the 5 pages It's fun. And it's like, it's for those times when you feel like you need to be busy with your hands, but you don't want to concentrate on a specific project, like something that needs a lot of thought. My daughter crochets a lot because she says it's hard for her to sit and relax without doing anything, without feeling guilty. So if she's sitting and watching a movie and crocheting, she's still being productive. Yeah. She's doing good. The restaurant had the 1 year anniversary of my son being the owner this past weekend, and they had a party. We have coming up the Meet the Artist, because we started they started a program where we're hanging local art on the walls and trying to sell them for the local artists. Helps us both. It makes our environment more exciting, more aesthetically pleasing, and hopefully we'll make some money for the artists. But anyway, we have an event coming up, which is um, a sip and greet. So we'll meet the local artists that have the art in there, and be having some wine tasting and snacks and stuff like that. You can find that on Facebook if you follow Bonfire Burgers and Bourbon. Bonfire Burgers and Bourbon on Facebook is where most of the announcements on what they have going on, and that is in Amherst, Virginia. That's my commercial for today. They don't sponsor me, but they do feed me if I show up. Love living in on a steer farm. If my neighbors get ornery, they just get made into steaks and get new neighbors. Well, Lori, that's why I lived on wheels for years. Because if I didn't like my neighbor, I could just move. Yeah? But, and honestly, this business almost had me selling my house and moving again. Almost. I was almost ready to sell my house. And I was like, you know what? One, I can't keep running. I cannot keep running. I'm tired. I'm so tired. You know, as women, most of us who have made it to this age and this stage in our life have had to fight for everything. Anything we've had, anything we've done, we've had to fight for. And I am exhausted. I am so tired of fighting. I just want to be. I just want to be. I just want to be left alone. I just want to be free to be me. And yeah, I really don't want all this nonsense. But when I get angry, when you finally push me over the line to get angry, I will not break the law, but I will retaliate. The things that those people have done to me, they try to do in private. Like, I have videos of the child taunting the dog and then hiding when she saw me recording her. I have that video. When I caught him putting mothballs in my yard, and he saw me looking at him, he hid behind the trees. Well, I've trimmed those trees out so he can't hide behind them as much. But everything they do in secret. Everything I do, I've done in the open, and I've called the sheriff about it first. Before I pulled out the megaphone, I called the sheriff. What is the decibel limit? What are the rules? What can I do? What can I do? If I want to hold a sign up that says my neighbor is trying to kill my dog, is that going to be some kind of violation? No. You can use your bullhorn. That's what I did. I used my bullhorn. And my bullhorn is louder than their noisemakers. And they didn't like it. But it's just me deciding not to be bullied anymore. Keep your trash in your own yard. Keep your poison in your own yard. You guys, I don't use pesticides and herbicides. I don't. I'm anti-herbicide and pesticide. Once in a while, I get out some mouse poison. You guys, I've noticed when I'm getting upset, I'm starting to stutter and not being able to find my words. Anyway, once in a while, I have to get out some mouse poison and some ant poison in the house. But other than that, I use all natural products. You can use cinnamon. You can use cloves. You can use, like, you can make a pepper spray. You can make a spray with your tomato leaves. But I want my property here, my goal is to turn it into an edible forest. I'm really big on edible landscaping. Are you guys seeing me clearly? Really, I want to know. Do I have clear signal today? Because once I don't talk to you guys a lot because I think I'm not going to have clear signal. But do I have clear signal sometimes? Is the picture coming in clear? Or are you talking to a blurry head? Anyway, my goal is to have this property eventually certified as a natural habitat for birds, bees, butterflies. I want an edible forest. I would love it to be where underprivileged children could come out here and pick food. Pick food off the vine. Pick food off the tree. Pick food off the bush. Pick the weeds out of the yard, right? That's what I'd like to eventually develop this into being. That's the long-term goal. That's probably the 10-year plan, right? And I'm 63, so, well, they're in their 70s and they're still threatening people and kicking people. So maybe by the time I'm 73, I'll still be kicking. I don't know. You guys gotta talk back. I'm serious. Gotta go. Have a better day, Pluck. See you, Lori. Love ya. Have a good one. You guys, the other day I ordered DoorDash and I ordered it at 11 a.m. because I ordered what I wanted for dinner. And I ordered from Food Lion. I think it was a Sunday though. And it was a stormy day. It was raining and lightning and thunder. And the DoorDash kept updating. And finally, at 5 something, remember I ordered at 11 a.m. and they told me I was going to get my order like within an hour. And after 5 p.m., I canceled the order because I still hadn't got it. Yeah, that kind of sucked. But I did find something else for Annika and I for dinner. Yep. All right, you guys, it's been over 2 hours. I think I'll probably go do some more grounding and hugging up on Annika. And yeah. Peace out. y'all be chill, okay? And don't hate on your neighbors. And don't be mean. Just be nice. Peace.